Good evening and welcome to episode 63. As always, we will start with our gratitude attitude. So, if you would please gently close your eyes. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, relax all the muscles in your body. Take another deep breath. As you exhale, let all the tension drip away. Take one more deep breath. This time, completely let yourself go. Now, think of one thing that you're thankful for that happened in the past week. Once you have identified that, think about why you are thankful. And now let's set it free. If you're by yourself, say it out loud what you are thankful for and why. If you are with someone, tell it to each other. Okay, so today we're going to discuss about left brain and right brain. I recently read a quote. It goes something like this: Enlightenment is not about learning, but it is all about unlearning. And I thought that's such a profound statement. So, today, let's try and figure out what it is that we need to unlearn to develop lasting inner peace. Actually, my brother and I, we used to have this discussion. We had this interesting discussion a couple of years ago. And we both agreed that Bodha ne Bhagwan jaldi made. Loosely translated, simple people get to nirvana faster. There's a lot of truth to this. If you think about it, all we are saying when someone is simple is that they are right brain dominated. They tend to have an artistic streak. But more importantly, they focus on life's little pleasures. They are at peace with themselves most of the time. They are not out there trying to prove anything to anyone. And when you are happy, inner peace naturally comes to you. So, how do we get to a point where a lot of people in the Western world lost their ability to connect with their right brain? I have a theory about that. I believe that from an early age, we put so much emphasis on left brain activities for children. Our linguistic controls are in our left brain. So does the ability to do our math. The area that keeps us organized is right in the center of our left brain. And of course, the logic that we put so much emphasis on is also dominated by left brain. So, as a result, with all of this combined, we as a society have put undue emphasis on the dominance of the left brain. What we learn to be successful in daily life actually gets in the way of our inner happiness. And I'll explain. We learn how to be clever, quote unquote, how to out negotiate someone, how to push buttons to get our ways, and so on. All of these things give us some degree of material success and allow us to make progress, quote unquote. However, all of these skills increase our inner chatter. This inner chatter keeps us on the toe and keeps us always on the go, which in turn prevents us from reaching true lasting happiness. So hopefully you can see the conundrum here. All of us have this potential for lasting inner peace, right? However, these so-called life skills are like layers of dust on the nuggets of happiness. The dust layers are so thick that we don't even know what the nugget looks like anymore. This is what the quote means when we talk about enlightenment is about unlearning, meaning we need to remove all that dust of so-called skills from our nuggets of inner happiness. So how do we remove this dirt from our inherently peaceful nature, you ask? Well, the first thing to do is to recognize it. Once you recognize that we need to unlearn some of these, it's then a matter of getting to work in a step-by-step fashion. We can begin by keeping an eye out of this inner chatter. Our mind keeps going all the time, thinking of all kinds of things. It plays and replays things that happened in the past. It makes up stories about what may happen in the future. So I actually read a book in last couple of days uh, called My Stroke of Insight by Dr. Jill Taylor. It's an interesting story, actually. Dr. Taylor is a neuroanatomist. I didn't even know that that word existed until I read that book. Essentially, she studies brain behavior for a living. At the age of 37, she had a devastating stroke. Her left brain hemorrhaged, and as a result, she could not read, she could not write, she could not speak, she could not hear, and she could not see clearly for a long time. It took her 8 years to fully recover, believe it or not. In her book, Dr. Taylor says something interesting. She says our inner chatter has very little basis in fact. It makes up all the stories based on the previous history that is most convenient at the time. So my question to you is, if your inner chatter or if our inner chatter is all made up, why are we listening it to anyway? Do me a favor. Keep an eye out for where our inner chatter takes you for the next day or so. It will jump around from one place to another, right? Every few seconds. you will realize that it mostly wants to take you on a ride that is not useful in any way. So when you do catch yourself with this inner chat, bring yourself back. Just think about a happy incident that happened recently, or listen to music, or start doing some arts and crafts. Point is that bring yourself to the present moment, right? Rather than staying in this inner chatter world. Every week when we meditate, we talk about how the present moment is peaceful and how that allows us to have the next peaceful moment, and so on. So, if we are aware of our inner chat, it will allow us to bring ourselves back to the present moment. Mindfulness. So, I hope this makes sense. And we all start paying attention to the right side of our brain just a little more than we have been. Now, since we're going to be off for a month or so, I thought I would leave you with this instant happiness version of meditation today. As always, we will first settle down at our heart. We'll then imagine a time or experience we had that was a really enjoyable experience for us. The type of experience that brings a smile to your face the moment you think about the experience. We'll take that joy and transform it into the bliss like feeling throughout our body. We'll eventually let go of the imagination, whatever that experience we were imagining, without letting go of that joy. And of course, I'll guide you through the whole process. So if you're ready, let's begin. Please get into a meditation posture, cross seated position if you can. If you are in a chair, keep your legs straight. Make sure his back is straight, your spine erect, your shoulders leveled. Gently close your eyes. Keep your mouth just a little bit open. That way, any tension you may have accumulated in your jaws will dissipate. Put your palms in your lap, right or left. Now, take a deep breath. As you exhale, let all the stress melt away. Take another deep breath. As you exhale, release all the tension from your body. Bring your attention to the sensation of your breath at your nostrils. Feel the cool air as you breathe in. Feel slightly warmer air as you breathe out. Keep your attention at your breath for about a minute or so on your own. Now, bring your attention at your heart. Imagine everything that happened before this moment melts into light and disappears. Things that have not yet happened are not real anyway. So it is just this moment. Enjoy the peaceful nature of this moment. Let this peaceful moment bring the next peaceful moment. Remember, there is nothing to do, nowhere to go. It's just this moment. Now, think of one memory or experience you had that brings instant smile on your face? It could be a memory of being somewhere, a mountain top, in the ocean, or with someone you love, or eating your favorite food. Doesn't matter what it is. You're not going to share this with anyone. So think about the strongest memory or experience that brings you instant joy when you think about it. Go deeper into that experience or memory. Think about all the ways it makes you happy. Once you have strongly identified that, take that happiness, that joy, and let it go through your entire body. Feel that joy in your arms. Feel that joy in your legs. Feel that joy in your shoulders. Feel that happiness at your heart. Feel the happiness on your face. Now, hold on to that joy and happiness in your entire body and just let go of that memory. Be joyful for just being joyful. When you're ready, gently open your eyes. Any questions? No questions.
No questions, but this is a heavy topic. We should talk a little bit more when we get back from the break.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What, any comments you want to make?
No, no comments. It's just it's deep. It takes a little longer to grasp for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know whether you are a book reader or not, but this book I just read, it's very interesting. My Stroke of Insight.
Hmm.
Um, it's a, it goes a little bit uh, dry in between, where she talks about at length, how to keep an eye on out for when you get a stroke or something and how to recover from stroke. So she talks
Hmm.
about some other stuff, but in between there are these nuggets which I found very interesting.
Hmm.
She actually had, she calls it nirvana experience, because her
Hmm.
entire left brain was shut out.
Yeah.
While she was having a stroke, she felt so peaceful. She said, I never felt peaceful like that before, because her entire left brain was shut out. So it was very interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
That is a that is interesting way of looking at it for sure. Yeah, I mean, I'll check it out.
yeah, check it out. I mean, it's an interesting book. It's an old book. It's apparently 24-year-old book, but yeah, very interesting book. So, all right, we'll stop recording.